So I'm going to give the history before we talk more about the needs. This is another thing that I think the community needs to know. Maybe you know this. Our school district has been incredibly responsible fiscally and looking at our buildings for decades. We separated from the cities in the early 80s. When we did that, we began a process of looking at our buildings, doing an analysis, making plans of what buildings might need to close, what buildings might need to open, setting aside money and funds, and really being responsible through facility assessments, building things through that entire process. So just quickly, in the 80s, that is when the school board administration at that time built our Four Corners and our Lake Superior Elementary. Now, I'm sure a lot of hard work went into that planning. Again, it was about the time we separated from the city. Very responsible at that time to build those and close down some of the older facilities. The 90s came along, and again, there was a look at what do we need to do next. That long-range plan was set and then tweaked and adjusted, and that is when we looked at doing our Great Lakes Elementary and Bryant. Those two opened up in 1895. About 10 or 15 years later, we moved forward to our middle school here in our Northern Lights. Those two buildings were looked at, evaluated, and now we have two beautiful new structures. Well, the two buildings that have not had any significant improvements or no improvements at all are Cooper Elementary and our high school. So those are the two that we're going to be talking about as we move forward in the 2016 vote in this time frame. We have two board members with us, Albrecht and Morehouse. If you have questions at the end that you might want to address to them, you certainly can. But I'd like to, toot the horn of our school board. Our school board is a dedicated group of people that work tirelessly looking at this, analyzing things for hours, a lot of late nights. So please know that when we moved into the final scope of the project, there was a lot of good thought put into what do we need to do and what really goes to the top. Just as I said about Cooper, our kids and our teachers deserve to teach in an environment that's conducive to learning. We shouldn't have to have teachers in a hallway. We shouldn't have to have teachers worrying about decimal volumes and their hearing. So again, our teachers and the students deserve this. And so that brings us to the school board's vision. 2016, April 5th, that's the big vote. That's where we'll go to referendum, where all of you will have an opportunity to weigh in on whether you believe the board's vision on all of the things you've heard tonight is appropriate or not. We want to capture, again, just to put that up there so you can read through that. Those are the major pieces of the project, the major scope of the project. I always like to share, again, this is about our kids. That's the number one piece. Our mission is that we provide all of our kids with the relevant tools to be successful. Part of those relevant tools are having a fantastic building to educate those kids, having the tools to educate those kids, having pride in the schools, whether that's the community, the staff, or the kids. So when you come there, you can feel that this is a place where you can tell others about, I have a fabulous school, I have great teachers, and we have a great building to be proud of. Again, it's about our staff. Right now, we have people that work in different buildings, frankly, out of closets. And that's not an exaggeration. We have converted rooms over closets to little tutoring rooms. That shouldn't be happening in our school district. Our teachers and staff deserve to be able to adequately teach our learners. And some of the things even at the middle school that we can make some conversions, so some of our teachers that might need to have small groups with a paraprofessional can have access to those things. So it's not just necessarily head out in the hallway to do some work. We have some spaces where the kids can actually go and learn. And this is about our community. We already know our gym space is woefully inadequate. We're sending our kids from our high school to our middle school for practice right now because we do not have enough space. All of our gym space is taken by different activities, and that's great. We have volleyball, we have Superior Basketball Association, we have the high school sports. We have a number of things going on. We need more space for a couple of reasons. One is we would like to be able to host some events. Our high school is a fabulous location. By the renovations that Kevin will be talking about, we could have that 3-tier gym, host events there, have a state-of-the-art gym for the championship games, draw in communities instead of our kids going elsewhere for these kind of competition, draw in more to our own community.